Hi, I'm James Wiebe with CRU Wiebe Tech, and today we're going to talk about Ditto. Ditto is a product that is used to create clones and images of hard drives and network resources. It also does a lot of other stuff. But before I tell you about it, I want to talk a little bit about the history of the product. We knew a couple of years ago that we wanted to have a competitive offering within the world of drive imaging equipment, and we came up with this idea, and we went through the process of naming it Ditto. We started talking to customers about it, and as we described the product to them, they gave us feedback as to what the product should really be. So what we ended up with is not really our vision, but we ended up with a vision of what the customers thought the best duplicating product on the planet would be. As an example, we set it up so that you can talk to any kind of input hard drive. All the obvious stuff, parallel, SATA. We set it up with an expansion module so that we could future-proof it, make it able to attach to hard drives that don't yet exist. Certainly cover the bases like SAS, FireWire. We set it up with an Ethernet port on the inside, on the input. That allows us to attach to network drives and iSCSI resources. Very, very cool. And on the output side, we set it up with a couple of SATA ports. We talked to our customers and they described to us their process flow, and a lot of people it was very important to make 2 copies of a hard drive at once. So we made sure in the hardware here that doing that would not impact the performance of the operation. In fact, some of our customers wanted to do a clone and an image. We set up the product so that it could do a clone and an image at the same time. And we also put an Ethernet port here for several reasons. It was clearly important to be able to write to network volumes so that you could create an image directly onto a network resource. And it was also important to us to be able to operate the unit through the Ethernet port onto a computer system. So you can run it from the front panel, or alternatively, you can run it directly from a computer that you have attached to the product. And we'll show you that here in a little bit. Some other basic things that we felt were very important was to provide support for EO1 and DD imaging and cloning. The output types for imaging clearly are industry standards. We wanted to have hardware hashing so it would be very fast when it calculated the values for both the source and the destination drives. In our tradition, we kept with the idea of using a metal case. A metal case provides ruggedness. It also provides the ability to heat sink whatever heat is being produced inside. And it allowed us to design this unit without a fan. We don't like fans. Fans cause problems. Fans create noise. Fans ingest dirt into the inside of units that they're used on. So we ended up with a design that's thermally efficient, very quiet, doesn't need a fan. You know, and as another result of that, it allowed us to create a unit that could be battery powered for many hours at a time. This would allow the unit to go into the field and be used in places it hadn't been before. On the back of the unit, you can see that we put an SD card into it. This allowed us to have a removable log file, so we could always leave the logs behind if we needed to, or we could take them with us and transfer it directly into the computer. All built directly into the unit. The unit itself is small, not very large. You can see that it's got a thin profile, and it's even got a place that you can hang it up so that you can use it in mobile settings or inside of a computer system. Power options, we designed it so it could run off of a brick or off of SATA power, whatever you wanted to do. If you're using a battery, the battery connects in right there. Due to the fact that you can connect to Ditto through a Ethernet cable, it really means that you can connect to Ditto through a virtual private network or VPN. That means that although we have a Ditto in our hands right now, it just as easily could be anywhere else on the planet. So instead of operating it from the front panel, we can operate it from a computer system, a laptop. Now I know this is a desktop. Let's pretend it's a laptop. I've got a Ditto hooked up to this particular computer. And once I pop up the browser window, there is a complete interface into Ditto. Now that unit's right there, but it could just as easily be in Africa. It doesn't make any difference. We've got the ability over here to take a look at what's on the hard drives on both sides. Let's just take a quick look at the screens. Up at the top we've got some tabs, but let's focus on the main screen. We've got an action window, a settings window, a status window, and a disk window. These are pretty interesting. On this action window we've got a drop-down menu that lets us pick all the basics: cloning, imaging, both at the same time, erasing. A full-featured erase engine is built into this product, as well as hashing. We've got drop-down menus for our source and our destination choices, and we also get to see from a logical point of view and a physical point of view everything that's happening on our sources and destinations. So we don't have to just mount a drive and then blindly make a decision to make a clone or an image of it. We can mount a drive and we can go directly into a partition and then open up a logical browsing window and see what's within that partition on the drive. Doesn't matter where the Ditto is. Remember, that Ditto could be sitting anywhere on the planet, and we did that. So we were able to do that. We can make a decision then to, let's say we wanted to clone. All we have to do is hit the start button, and the unit's off and running, and we'll be able to create a clone or an image or inspect the drive or do whatever we want from anywhere. Very, very amazing power in the product, the ability to remotely, to virtualize, to examine, to logically inspect, to make decisions associated with your data capture process, all of it built into Ditto, and all of it at a competitive price. In future videos we're going to talk some more about what you can do with the product.